what's interesting is that, well, I haven't read the holy books, none of them. Uh, but from the later I know, it doesn't seem like a new thing. So everybody's even talking now. These guys are going wrath Old Testament style, which is actually an old expression. These guys are going Old Testament on them. And well, when you think that, you start thinking, was this entire culture, and I'm going to call culture, okay, uh, based and raised and born on murderers and rapists mindset, or at some point this changed and you have just fanatics? Because there's one thing that we always discuss here is the fact that, well, Israel is it's a state made for and by fanatics. And of course, we're always going to have nice people here and there. But at this point, I'm starting to think, how much percentage of the people are nice people?
Well,
Oh, what?
what we're, I think we're really talking about here is the extremists are a minority. The average, I think your average person doesn't really, they'll listen to some of it, they'll go along with the crowd, but they aren't really out advocating for it. This phenomena, what happens when people start believing that a person or a group of people, it revolves around belief that a certain person is touched, anointed by God, has a special insight, a relationship with God, speaks with God, can communicate its thoughts, can tell you what the divine wants. A prophet, somebody who's viewed as a prophet. And once you accept that this has a very special relationship with God, and that your relationship with that person will allow you to have that same relationship with God, it becomes dangerous. Back when I was growing up, I had the brother of my classmates. He's an older guy. At the time, he was our basketball coach. Well, years later, found out he declared himself a prophet of God. And as a prophet of God, I mean, and it went to the point that he was saying that God allowed him to have multiple sexual relations with different women. That's what declared.
It's always like that.
Hey, God, hey, it's not me, it's God. God says you got to do this. But he got to the point that there was this one family. Their names were the Averys, and I knew them. They attended the church where I attended. It was a husband, wife, and 3 daughters, as I recall. This guy, his name was Jeffrey Lundgren. He had them murdered, and he got his followers to murder that family. And for what reason? That they had, and according to the prophet, had fallen out of favor with God. It was, unfortunately, he died in prison. He was convicted of, murder. But unfortunately, this is what you get from some of these people who are masquerading as holy men, holy women, is the people that have a special relationship with God. They use religion as a justification for controlling other people and stealing from other people, and it's just that's one of the big sort of, it's unspoken. That's on the nightly news when they're talking about the situation in the Middle East, they're not talking about what the different religious beliefs are, why you've got such a strong following of evangelical Christians who back what's happening in Israel because they believe it's the fulfillment of prophecy. Oh yeah, man, nuclear war, good. It means God's coming. And it sort of, the problem I have with the evangelical Christians on that is it's a very selfish. Oh, God's going to rapture us. hey, if you got the right relationship with God, they're catch up into the sky, and you're not going to suffer any of the pain and the death and the destruction. And it's like, you know, uh,
Who
if
told you
that's the kind of
you?
God you want to believe in,
No, and who told you you
yeah.
have the right relation with God?
Yeah, well, they convince
Yeah.
themselves, and uh, you know, it is. I can't emphasize enough that these are such deeply held beliefs that it's not just a matter of sitting somebody down and talking to them and they're going to change their mind. No. This goes very, very deep, very deep.
Since you touch upon the evangelicals or the neo-Pentecostal churches, that's one thing. As I told you, I was, born and raised in a Catholic country. Brazil was a Catholic country, and I saw during, you know, 20, 30 years the rise of these evangelical churches. A strong race of them, a very strong race of them. And we just saw the other day the demonstrations pro Bolsonaro with a woman holding the flag of Israel, saying, well, Israel is our brothers because they are Christians like us. So it's just the
Huh?
you haven't seen this video? I'm
Yeah, that's a
gonna
little.
send you.
No, yeah, I haven't
I'm
seen
gonna
that.
send you. Yeah, that was basically what the woman said. And then we saw Bolsonaro entering the stage with embraced in the Israel flag, um, and to convert to a religion in general, you just have to want that, and I believe Judaism is more or less the same. So, and at the same time, the evangelicals have this really strong belief of the Jews as the promised people, the bright people. What's it called? The people chosen by God. Is this somehow connected? And I'm asking a kind of stupid question here, but I just want a better explanation of that.
No. There is within Judaism an element that believe that, of course, God has chosen us. We have a special relationship with God. Now, the problem I have with that is, it's one thing if you view that, hey, we have a special relationship with God, and because of that special relationship, we have a duty and obligation to heal the world, to make sure that the poor are fed, that the oppressed are freed. So it's like, if you genuinely believe that you have this special relationship with God and that God has selected you for what? To enrich yourselves, rape people, steal from other people, to oppress others, or are you supposed to be, within both the Jewish and Christian tradition with the Old Testament, the prophecy of Isaiah talk about a city, and Ronald Reagan used the phrase, the city on a hill, a light, an emblem of hope,
Mhm.
irradiating out to the world, showing what you should be, a positive. And unfortunately, what we've got going on right now is an enormous negative, that these the Zionists, well, most of Israel is supporting the murder of Palestinian women, children, men, but it's overwhelming the number of civilians, and they don't give a shit. They could care less. No human, as far as they're concerned, what they're killing is like killing cockroaches and insects. They're not human and not deserving of any kind of humanity, which is, it is that point that you have now, in my view, so transgressed and so separated yourself from that spiritual relationship you claim is so vital in your life. And that's, you know, maybe we are part of some big spiritual drama that's being played out with different religious uh, perspectives. With the with the Muslims, they divide in themselves, as you noted, into Sunni, Shia. At a minimum, that's just the start of it. You get to the people like the Druze. The Druze won't let it. They only grow by having babies themselves. They don't allow any outsiders in. They don't. They're not set up to go out and convert people. They're a closed society, and their elements is primarily Islam, but they've got elements of Christianity and mysticism. But you go around all these different religious sects around the world, and some that are not just monotheistic.
Yep.
So it is these beliefs about where you fit in the world and where you fit within the cosmos, and what does life mean. Those are very profound and are at the heart of many of these conflicts.